Okay, we are back with the core GT3. Let's see. Sorry for the last 30 minutes. Looks like I've had some major computer issues, but I believe everything's worked out now. So let's check in on the leaders here. We have we have Nick Nickerson, and let's see what kind of information we've got here. Okay, looks like my name's Nickerson. All right, so let's see. So we're 17 laps in. Looks like Nickerson has. Okay. It looks like Carl is about 2.1 seconds back there. Okay, now I'm seeing what I'm looking for. Looks like he's hanging in there. Let's see who's got the closest thing on track right now. Alex Kornfeld is running down Matthew Goering. Looks like he's got that gap down to about 1.2 seconds. It's the corn nut. Looks like Kevin Foster just pitted, judging by what I'm seeing here. So, let's see. Who else do we have here? Kevin. Paul Butler looks like he's pitted. Who else do we have that's nearby? No one really. Chico Avi out here. He is. Looks like suffered a little bit of damage in that Audi. Got a little bit of a messed up rear wing. Everything's holding in good solid. Let's check out Nick Brown here. I've got to figure out how to get my name on it. But that's one way to do it. We don't look at anybody too far back. Actually, let's do it. Even if we look at old Alex here. Well, there's no way for me to get rid of that. So I'll have to look and see if there's a way to get rid of it. Alright, so let's see. Looking in here. Oh, looks like Mark Thomas is getting close to Derek Sherman here. Let's do a little ride along with Mark and see how he's looking for his cockpit view. Alright, okay, yeah. Very good, Mark. See if he can close that gap. Down to about 3/4 of a second, maybe a little bit of overdrive. This is Mark. I didn't race last night because I don't enjoy short tracks, Thomas. Running up on Derek, I got ping pong 75 times last night. And it looks like they went around somebody there. I didn't catch who it was. Looks like Mark is slowly closing that gap down to about 6 to 7 tenths now. Looks like last lap, Mark Thomas was about half a second faster. Got Got that down to about 5/10 now. Is it going to be into the braking zone for turn one? Let's see. Let's pull this out here as they go into turn one. And ooh, he's on the binders hard. Back on the gas. These cars. Let's see what we can get here out of that. Not the scenic view. We're gonna miss it. There we go. I like TV2 a little bit better. Looks like the gap's opened back up a little bit to about 7/10. A little bit of push and pull. Like Derek may have gotten on a little hot feet there and sped up a bit. All right. Let's check in with some of the rest of the field here. Doesn't look like anybody else is getting too close to each other at the moment. Oh, hold on. Let's jump over and look at Mason here trying to run down Carl. He's got that gap down to about a second here. And let's see. So Nick and Carl have yet to pit. Mason is pitted. This is at least according to my thing. I wish I'd know a little bit more, but I had some issues and missed the first 30 minutes of the race. Looks like Mason is blinking a little bit. Oh no. Oh. Let's go back here a second or two. Let's see how this looks. Coming down the front straight here. This is going to be where Mark gets by, it appears. Gets a nice draft and just catches him in the braking zone there. Hard on those binders. Looks like, yeah, is Derek going to come back on the inside? No. Looks like Mark has that fourth position now. And it'll take a lap or a sector for the race laps to update. Let's check in on that. Ooh, Kevin Foster here running down Nick Brown. He is going to probably catch him coming out of this corner here, I would imagine. There you go. Wow. Maybe not. He's got him at 4/10 of a second, slowly down to 3/10. Ever closer, getting on that back bumper. Right along with Kevin here as he tries to get past the amateur class here. He's getting on. Nice. Smooth throttle work, nothing crazy. Not even going for a dive on the braking. A little close. Looks like Nick's giving him a little bit of room to go by. All right. Nice play. Nice play. Derek is not, let's see, checking in here. This is Derek Sherman trying to get back his position from Mark Thomas. Mark's not pulling away. That is Marshall. Pulling up nice getting all over those curves. See, what's a good box? He's got nobody going. Pull back into TV number 2 here. Thaddeus has got that gap down to about 1.2 seconds now. Derek and Mark are still. Let's see. Mason is getting all over the back of Carl Hamburg here. So many battles to watch. And is Mason going to get to do it here? Going into the break. Nope. Had a look. Was thinking about it. Decided maybe sticking the nose inside of Carl into the chicane there was not the world's greatest idea. Some of us figured that out last night with Carl. Let's see here. What do we have? Is Mason going to be close enough? He is not. Let's check. Looks like Thaddeus Marshall is still closing up on Nick Brown here. Got that gap down to half a second. Chicken to Tim Thompson right here. See. Derek Sherman is just still all over the back there. Going into turn 1. Let's see. I had a thought about it, old Thad. They're running a nice little Christmas scheme there with some little girl on it. Let's see. All right. Dane Simpson's right here. Looks like he is reeling in Paul Butler. No. No, who is that there? We have Abiy Vizuvesum. I believe. No? No. Oh, that is going to be Alex Corp? Oh, that was the 199 of John Crane that you just passed there. It is so hard to navigate these multi-class guys. Let's see, who else do we have close here? Looks like Mason is still working that half a second to 0.3 of a second gap here. And Carl's putting a little, kind of a little yo-yo they got going on there. I'll leave you with this. I gotta go for a second. Let's see. Sorry, I'm back now. Alright. Looks like Derek Sherman's getting right back onto the back of Mark Thomas there. Ooh. Mark run a little wide in that corner. Is he feeling the pressure? Let's see. Looks like they've both pitted. Keeping an eye out here. Looks like I just saw Carl and Mason both setting purple sectors for a second there. Nick Mason's still out in the front by about 2 seconds. Adam Jones is about 16.8 seconds behind these two. Who else do we have close here? Looks like Derek backed off a little bit. Maybe he's just trying to chill and let the tires cool a little bit. The other one is still Mason, the Mason and Carl show. Check in with Alex Kornfeld here, see how he is doing. Just holding place about 4.5 seconds behind Matthew there. Looks like Kevin Foster's slowly catching him in that Pro Series Ferrari. Nice. Oh! Hopefully that wasn't the broadcaster's curse there. Oh, Matthew Goring is playing with, I guess he's about a lap ahead of Thaddeus Morgan. Is that Thaddeus? That is. Oh, no, that is Matthew Goring. Sorry. I thought it was focused on the other car. Let's hop in the car here with Kevin and get a cockpit view as he runs down Alex and Matthew. Amateur driver giving him a little bit of a break there. Like Willie, like Shelton's the first one that's a lap down. Looks like it's starting to get a little dark. We still have about 30 minutes left. Coming up on round top of the second pit stops in about another 8 minutes or so. These cars can run. They have to set them right about 30 minutes, give or take, depending on how you drive. Checking the Mason. Derek is still trying to eat up that rear bumper of Mark Thomas. Mark is being one little slippery Brit, staying, just maintaining that about a half a second to 1 second gap. Going back down through the field here. Looks like that is going to be the Porsche there of Tim Thompson, I believe, in front of him. Let's pull back to TV2. Oh, that's right, it does that. No, that is Patrick Shelton ahead of him. Checking on B here. He is 7 laps down. I'm guessing he was involved in a little bit of an incident. Probably had some pit time stuff. Jeremy Lon Watkins is in the pits here. Checking on Dane. Just looks like he's just running his race. He's currently right around the 2 minute 1 second. Let's see who's the. So it looks like the last lap, fastest person on track was Nick Nickerson. With Mark Thomas only about a 1/10 of a second behind on his pace there. Derek Sherman was the one. Oh wait, no. That last lap was Carl Hanworth. He clicked in a 156.9. Looks like some of our best laps are in the 156.7 range. Mason has the fastest lap so far at a 156.4. Checking in here, let's see. Kevin Foster is about a second behind Alex here. Watch him go on by. That doesn't work too well. Matthew Goering is slowly closing up on Jimmy Covert. Let's pull up Covert's car here. Do we see any damage or any other reason? Ooh, Mason's doing the jumpy jump somewhere. That Ferrari just looks so posed over the bumps. Let's see, last lap, Goering was about a 1/10 of a second faster. Unfortunately, my head-to-head display will not go across it looks like that gap's. Ooh. Kevin Foster is now within 0.6 of a second. Last lap, he was about 0.4 of a second faster than Alex here. So we'll have to see. Does Alex try to fight him for the overall position here, or is he going to just let him on by in that faster pro car? A little bit more power in a setup. Down to about 5/10. Let's see. Looks like Mason Smith is getting very close to Carl. Check in here. He had that gap down to about 0.2 for a second. Oh, is that Paul Butler? It looks like. Yes, last minute going into the pits there. Let's see, we're at 57 minutes, maybe a little early. Will he have to make another stop? I'm not quite sure. Looks like Derek Sherman. Looks like, yeah, Kevin is right on the back of Alex now. Going for that 9th spot there. The overall. Ooh, a little bit of overspeed. It's hard to fight it when you get an extra little bit of power and full-on setup. Thaddeus and Paul leaving the pits side by side. And that is for position right there. All right. Who else do we got? Looking through the standings here, looks like Derek is slowly pulling away from Adam Jones. As fast as Adam is, I think the pace of the top five are going to hold him out of a fifth overall due to the balance of power that we run for these. Let's see. Checking on John Crane here. Looks like he is out somewhere at the moment. Tim Thompson. Here we go. Looks like he's just sitting there running his errands. Backfires that Porsche, so nice. All right. Let's see. Who else? Check on our leader here. Car looks perfect. Just like it's on a rail. Cut back, take a little bit of the curve. Let's jump in the car here for a minute and see how Nick does this. Watch an artist in his profession. There we go. All right. Coming on through. Nick had a rough night last night in our Sunday night series. Cup cars at Martinsville did not go the way everybody wanted. Plenty of action, but just not the right kind. Passing out beat. One more lap down there. Sherman's falling back to about 2 seconds off of Mark Thomas's pace. Oh, here we go. Oh, looks like Carl Handwork at the 1 hour and 1 minute mark is into the pits. Let's see if Mason uses this opportunity to blitz and have a faster out lap here. Or a faster in lap. Lap car B Visuvason. Is he going to jump out of the way here? Is it going to... There you go. Yep. It looks like it didn't cost Mason much time at all there. Mark Thomas, Carl Handwork's teammates, managed to jump him in the pit thing here. According to my software, it's telling me that this is Carl Handwork's first pit in an hour into the race. And I've got other guys that have pitted twice now, so I'm going to wonder if we don't have a little bit of a software issue with this. Let's check in here. Kevin Foster passing Matthew Goring as he goes into the pits here. Unfortunately, it won't show us the other pit crews. I wish it would. So that put Alex Kornfeld ahead. It's also showing him as not stopping before. So Mason is into the pits now, along with Nickerson. Nick Nickerson. A B gets to get his lap back, at least one of them. Unlike last night, he won't be getting 18 lucky dogs. The question is, can Carl's outlap catch up to Nick or Mason? And do we take too much fuel? Do we take not enough? Let's see what's going on here. It looks like a B just picked up 17th place for going getting past John Crane. It looks like John Crane. Oh, hold on here. We have a new leader in Carl Henworth. Looks like his pit strategy paid off. He jumped both Nick and Mason. That's a nice little gap Carl has there. He's about 1.4 seconds ahead of Be curious to see if they try to click in some fast laps here. Mason's 3.7 seconds back off of Nick. So, according to my software, everyone but Alex Kornfeld has pitted. And I see him coming through the pits now. And I've got a feeling some of this may be due to my having to restart here. We haven't checked into Shelton much here at all in that nice Gulf Racing GT3 Porsche. Looks like he is playing with Derek Sherman there. That Porsche is so much prettier than the Ferrari. You kind of hate that it's going to happen. Come down this long straightaway at least. Looks like Derek is all over the push-to-pass lights. Let's jump in the cockpit here and see how Sherman gets around it. Doing the braking set, here we go. Shelton's making it hard on him. It's allowing Mark Thomas to kind of just march off into the distance here away from Sherman. Down into turn one. Does he overshoot it? No. Nice job there. Textbook pass. Look at Shelton there in that mirror, playing peekaboo. We got our amateur class winner here. Not winner. That's not over yet. But leader Adam Jones. Hitting his marks. And, gotta admit, between the Lamborghini and the Merc, they have some wonderful engine noises. Although the Merc could really use an update on its interior thing. Not commensurate with what we're used to seeing out of these GT3 cars. For instance, we'll jump in with Derek Sherman here. Just looks a little bit better. What else do we have that has a close gap? Nickerson's got it down to 1.5 seconds here. So you can just see handwork right in front of him. Take a nice little chunk out there if he can hold it. But looks like Carl gets a little bit better drive out of that little tight hairpin there. Looks like Nick's just carrying a little bit of mid-corner speed over here. He's got about the intervals here. Let's see, catching up with Paul Butler here as he tries to get around. I believe that is the number 89 of Thaddeus Marshall. Let's look at the left front suspension. Looks like maybe he's got a little bit of damage. But you can see Dane Simpson back there. Look over Nick Brown. Running in third in the amateur division. About 9.5 seconds back from Kevin Foster in the overall. Let's check in. What happened here? Why did Carl have to come into the pits? Did he have a drive-through? Maybe a speeding on pit road or something? We'll have to. Yeah, I guess because we don't have access to that. Yeah, Carl had to dive into the pits. So. Looks like Nickerson is in front of Mason Smith with a 4-second gap there. Carl's about 13 seconds back. Then we have Mark Thomas, another 13 seconds back, followed by Derek Sherman, who's got that gap down to 2.4 now. 2.0. What is it? What happened here? Oh, wait. It's Kevin Foster. I guess Sherman and Mark had to get around him. Derek just closed about a second of that gap off. Let's see how this looks. Don't see any damage on the really see anything in the right front. Left. Left rear? No. Right front? No. Looks like Mark Thomas's car is intact. Yeah, I like that little thing. So it's currently saying the most exciting is what happened to Abby here? little spin. Rear engine. Lock the brakes down to let one by. Tries to spin that big guy around. Paying close attention, waiting for the leaders to get by. Very nice of Bobby there. Derek is holding down that 1.4-second gap. Who else do we have that's getting close to each other on track? Let's see how some of these here look. Let me pull up the blimp here. Ooh, we got a lot of right there. Give you an idea of what everybody gets collected here. Looks like Paul Butler is slowly taking some time out of Thaddeus Marshall there. Sounds good. Back to that, we're on the old Nick here. Let's check in on Tim Thompson. It's currently 2 laps down. About a minute behind Patrick Shelton ahead of him. Looks like he is kind of maintaining that 1 minute and 19-second gap. And checking on Paul Butler here. That car is still looking pretty fresh. He is running down directly in front of him. Is that the... That is the 5. That is Mark Thomas there. Oh, what happened here? Hey, sorry about having to do this, but I don't have really a good way to do it. Where? Not quite sure. Got a nice snakeskin effect there on Sherman's Ferrari. Alright, let's see. Anybody else getting close? Just Mark Thomas trying to get around. Thaddeus Marshall there. He'll go down the inside after getting a good run off that corner. Down into the braking zone. Who's going to be the Daniel Ricciardo, the last of the great breakers? Well, it looks like Mark Thomas takes that one. It is a pro car against an amateur car, so that is true. We got Paul Butler. Right, Mr. Thaddeus Marshall as well. He's got that, or is it vice versa? No, it looks like Thaddeus is running away from Paul Butler. Good job to do that with the amateur car. Staying about a 1.2, 1.4. Yeah, I guess. It looks like the steering wheel is straight. Let's see what else we got here. Mark Thomas is still about 1.7 seconds behind Derek Sherman. Might be slowly reeling him in. We got about 10 minutes left on this race. Looks like the lights are starting to go out here at the Nurburgring Grand Prix circuit here. Nestled in the hills of Germany. Sitting adjacent to the Green Hill right next door. Oh, it would have been nice if they'd have done this on the 13 or 12.8 mile, whatever the Nordschleife is, or combined circuit. That would be nice. So, quick little rundown here. Nickerson has been leading most of this race, except for when Carl managed to hit him coming through the pit phase in the second one there. Not quite sure how that happened. Why Carl had to recommit. Maybe he didn't take enough fuel. We can ask him at the end of the race. We got Mason there about 3.9 seconds back, all kind of by his lonesome. So Mason's not really putting a foot wrong, just kind of putting his laps in, getting around lap traffic pretty well. Carl is back here. 13 seconds behind Mason Smith. Another 19 seconds ahead of Derek Sherman. So, with 10 minutes to go, I don't see Carl picking up 13 seconds on Mason. And we go back to Derek Sherman here, the Ferrari. Man, these cars look cool at night. Starting to see the headlights come out. Looks like he's slowly making up on time on Mr. Handler. Mark Thomas is kind of just sitting there in that kind of 2-3 second window. Dropped off a little bit, but it looks like he's coming back here through that set of corners. Then we got Adam Jones, about another 19 seconds behind those two. Doing great with the first place in the amateur series. And I believe, yep, other than Adam Jones and Mr. Alex Kornfeld, those are the only Mercedes to run here tonight. Let's go back to 7th place here. We got Mr. Jimmy Coburn. Haven't really seen much of him as he comes up to get past the lap car of Dane Simpson. Dane just moves over and lets him by on that long front straight. Let's check out Matthew Goring back here. also going down into turn 1. All right, let's go on back down to 9th place. Mr. Kevin Foster, 1.4 seconds behind Matthew Goering. Looks like he might be making up a little bit of time slowly here. It is interesting to see these cars do have different light patterns for their different headlights. You can tell. So is that something that maybe makes a little bit of an effect later on? In another 5 minutes or so, will we get completely dark? I don't know. We'll see. Kevin is now within a half a second of Matthew Gover. Looks like he's going to probably take that 8th spot away. There you go. Kevin going by him on the outside. The downhill section before the uphill braking. Let's drop on back to Nick Brown here, who's another 25 seconds back. Car looks nice and clean. I'm guessing he's just had his nice little race. Hadn't really done too much that I've noticed, but did miss 30 minutes. So. Mr. Kornfeld with the lady on the side of the car here. Kind of getting on those curbs a little bit. I still feel like that car looks like the Viper off of the Gran Turismo game. Ooh, running a little wide there. Alex is newer to our core series here, but he seems to be taking to it pretty well. Let's check on Mr. Thaddeus Marshall here in the BMW. Looks like he's about another 15 seconds behind Alex. 12th place or 5th in the, what do we call it? The amateur series. Just kind of running his laps there. Going back now to Paul Butler, who's another 9 seconds back in the Ferrari. Paul had a good finish last night, a 4th place in our Premier Series. Doesn't look like he's doing quite so good tonight, but that's interesting. Saw the brakes lighting up there. Check on Mr. Simpson here. He is another 36 seconds back in 14th place. He is a lap down. So far, everybody looks like Nick has gotten the top. Only the top 9 are still on the lead lap. Looking here at Dane's car, it looks relatively unscathed. So, I'm guessing. Looks like most guys have had a nice clean race. Check out Mr. Shelton here in the golf racing course. It's just so pretty. With Mr. Carl Hanwork about to go past him here. Where is Carl going to make that move? Got to do it down the front straight, going into turn 1. Going to get a nice, good draft, slip on out. Whose taillights come on first? Well, we didn't get to see. Camera panned away. Carl made that look pretty easy. Ooh, the back brakes on Shelton's Porsche, they were glowing really red. They're still glowing a bit, whereas the Ferrari, not nearly as much. He's trying to stay on Carl's bumper. Maybe he's just got to pull around the track a little bit. Down to 2 minutes to go. We'll follow Nick here after we check out Tim Thompson. Looks like he's having a nice little race there. I believe that is a BV Zovasum who is right behind him. They're a few laps apart. B apparently had an incident somewhere earlier in the race. And then we have John Crane and Jeremy Lon Watkins. Look like they're out for the night. Let's see. Check and see. So we have Nick going through the uphill chicane, coming around with. Is this going to be the white flag lap? Let's see. Doesn't look like anybody except for Sherman. Oh, Mark Thomas got past Sherman on that. I don't know when that happened. But yes, it looks like the timer has expired, so this should be the last lap. Might have one more because I don't believe so. Mason is 5 seconds behind Nickerson. Carl Hanwork is another 13 seconds back. So unless Nick just shoves this in the wall or does something crazy, looks like Nickerson will be our winner tonight in the pro category and overall as well. See Mason coming up behind him there. Not quite full dark, but it is getting close to something like that. And Nick Lee takes the checkered flag. Yeah. He does. So, looks like, let's see here. Let's catch everybody as they come through. Derek Sherman is got down to within 7/10 of Mark Thomas. Coming through that final chicane, that little bit of a bobble, I think he just lost his chance there. Don't think you're going to catch up a second in the last one. So it looks like 4th place would go to Mark Thomas and 5th place to Derek Sherman. Then we have Adam Jones here, another ways back. Covert. Barely see much at all now. Kevin Foster's trying to make some hay. Matthew Gower, he's coming up. Looks like Mr. Jones just finished. And we'll have Mr. Covert in 7th overall, 6th in his class. Another 3.5 seconds is what. Yep. Kevin Foster finished. Dane and Matthew Gower. And Mr. Alex Cornfield. Looks like Mr. Kevin Foster's doing a few donuts here. Hey, Nick.
What up, man?
Oh, not too much. Had a little trouble with the computer upgrade, but caught the last half of the race. Looks, you know what happened where Carl got past you and Mason there?
Yeah, I mean, he must have taken substantially less fuel to make it, because, man, I think I finished the race with like maybe a gallon and a half left or whatever. So I'm not sure how he got like 5 seconds on me in pits. Maybe he just figured something out on entrance and just got into the pits quicker. But that was a good job on him, whatever he did. And just sucks that he got. I'm guessing he got like an incident penalty that gave him a drive through, and it's kind of over for him at that point. Which kind of sucks, because that was going to shape up to be one hell of a run for the finish for both of us. And yeah, man, good race.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Carl, what that last pit drive through there, incident issue?
Yep, yeah, it was kind of creeping up the entire race, and I think I want to say I had 10, about maybe 40 minutes into the race, so I knew it was going to be an issue. And once I got to the point where it was 12, I'm like, well, now I can't hit anybody because that's going to put me right to 16, and it just kept creeping up. And where I got the last X irritated me because I feel like I've been driving over that the entire race, but is what it is. I put myself in that position, and yeah, it sucks.
Was
To
it the
throw away the
curve
win.
to that
I mean,
little chicane?
it was coming out of the first right-hand corner, so not obviously not
Ah,
turn one, but it was like turn four.
yeah.
Just kind of swinging out wide like I did the entire race, but apparently it was an inch too far. But yeah, I mean, top three, I'll take it again. Podium. Just sucks that I thought I could maybe at least get a second, and then when the undercut worked as good as it did and it got me to lead, I'm like, okay. And then just pissed away a lap later. So that's all fun.
Yeah, but you picked up like 3 or 4 seconds on Nick there. I thought it was going to be a little closer, but you cleared him by a good bit. And I was just like, oh, okay.
It
Yeah,
had to be about 5 seconds, because
I,
you
I
were.
well, yeah, when I came in the pits, I was, I think, it was a 3.5 or 3.8 behind you, and when you came out, I was a second and a half ahead of you. So I picked
Yeah.
up 5 6 seconds. It was crazy how much I picked up. I mean, I did have a really good, in my opinion, out lap, so that helped. Um, and I was aggressive as all hell coming into the pits. So, but yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a race
Yeah,
between all three of us. I mean, nobody could really check out from each other. And every time Nick got away a little bit because I made a mistake, it seemed like I could just reel him in the next 3 4 laps, within distance. But whenever I got to within like a second and a half behind him, the car just didn't handle the same, and it was tough to close that final little gap.
The dirty air.
Yeah, it was tough to click off like solid laps, man. Like I was messing up, every other lap too. And like it seemed like, once one corner's ruins, it like ruins the next one, and
Yep.
before you know it, you're like a second slower. I'm like, damn it.
Yep.
And you're trying to build that second back, and then it happens again, and oh man, it was tough.
it
This
looked
was
like
probably the first race all season though that it didn't really wear on me like the other ones. The other ones, like I was just beat at the end of the race. Like this one, I feel like I could go out for another stint.
Oh shit.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. Oh,
It really it didn't do that much. I don't know if it's just a nice smooth transition in corners or what it was, but yeah, compared to the first couple races this year, I didn't want to go out for another 5 minutes.
Sweating it out.
I'll say Mason seemed to have no problem being about 3 to 4 tenths behind you for about 10 laps in a row.
10 laps. Shit.
yeah.
Well, he'd do
You
it.
mean the entire race? Yeah, yeah. If that's 10 laps, then yes.
No, there were about 10 laps there where he was right at 3 tenths the entire lap,
Oh,
right
yeah.
there. And I was just like, that's pretty impressive to stay that close that long. They
Yeah.
back off a little bit.
Yeah, it's almost
right
like
back.
there was almost like a little bubble that it seemed, at least to me, where like for if you got to 1.5 seconds, you needed to close it down to like a half a second right away to get within the draft. So everything that you're losing, getting aero tight in the corners, you would gain back at least in the draft. But if you were stuck at 1.5, you were getting the aero tight and you weren't getting the draft.
Yeah, Mark and
Yeah, it
Derek
seems
had
like-
a nice battle for that too. And you could see there was right at that 1 second gap.
Yeah, it seems that Carl might be. I mean, you don't have to answer this, of course, but it seems like you're running a little bit lower wing or downforce than we are. So it's like we can get up to you, but like passing is so incredibly difficult because those straightaways, you just like take away. You just drive off like a few feet here and there. It's like impossible.
Well,
Set up
this
for
was
a
the
pass.
first race that I didn't do any testing for, and
Yeah.
my first lap was 15 minutes before the session opened up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I ended up, Mark
Yeah.
had something that I
hated.
kind of used, and Mark's setup that he had for me without even me stepping in the car was pretty good, and it was pretty close, but I ended up using the major setup, which was a 8-degree wing.
Okay. Yeah, we were using 10.
Yeah, yep.
It makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
I'm like, "Damn."
I could definitely see like you guys just had that little bit extra, especially in that corner that ended up screwing me in the end, the right-hander. You guys had a lot of grip getting out of there, but all the straightaways it seemed like I could at least stay with you, if not gain on you.
Yeah. Straight the front straight, man. You're just freaking gone every single time. Even with the draft.
Oh yeah, once I got out ahead there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Alex
That's
and
like
Mason, what
you
were y'all
were real
running?
good.
Which setups were y'all running?
VRS.
No, we were running the VRS Apex. A little bit different.
You were running Apex. I was running VRS.
Oh, why are we not using the same setup?
I probably.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That's a problem.
We
I have
put
to
you guys
fix
back
that.
in your own channel. You got some shit to hash out.
That's why Mason's lap was so much faster.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, the Apex are $5 more a month, so they better be better. Otherwise, why am I paying that money?
Right.
Wow.
Not for nothing. I'm not taking anything away from you, Nick, but I think Mason had the faster car tonight. I
Possibly.
Mean, when we came out there after the first pit stop, you were, I think, 2.1 ahead of me. He was 2.1 behind me, and he caught me within like 2-3 laps, and I was still the same distance behind you.
Yeah, Mason set the fastest
Right.
lap for 156.4.
Yeah, by 3/10, he was flying.
And Carl, you
Well,
and
he had-
Nick,
he had
your
the draft-
fastest
he had the
laps
draft.
were 6, thousandths of a second apart. 56.750 for Nick and a 56.756 for you, Carl.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, it was that was just a tough track, man. It was so hard to get like perfect laps. Some of those corners are just tough to get down perfect.
Yeah, to be consistent,
Yeah.
it was an easy track in my opinion, but it was tough to be consistent.
Yeah.
F1 track.
Yep.
They're always hard.
Yeah.
So how
Well, that's
was
what makes it fun.
The GTM series?
I have words. I'm salty.
I have words.
I went in for my pit stop in third, doing fine, and the car decided it needed tires, and so I tried to click the button to turn them off, and it put one tire on, and that
Nice.
just, oh man, I was
That
riding
handled-
on
that
ice
handled great.
skates.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I spun out twice, and so I lost it to Nick. So he took podium. I was like, not like this. I want to get beat because I lost, not because the freaking tune-up beat me.
I'll take it, damn it. I'll take it.
Yeah. So shout out to Nick for staying consistent and having a good button box.
I told you how good you one, bro. I told you.
I need it.
You know what? I'm gonna give you this extra one I got sitting over here. I'll bring it over.
Who says money doesn't win sim racing?
Whoa, nobody in here, man.
No, I built mine from Radio Shack, bro, and Amazon.
Radio Shack still exists.
It was Hobby Town inside of the Radio Shack. Sorry, dating myself.
A definite shout out to Adam and
Matt.
and Matthew. Both like Matthew came out of nowhere, like just flying. I was trying to catch him for a couple of laps. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
This track. It's so much fun.
yeah, Matthew.
Yeah,
Which
sure.
setup were you running?
Medium downforce.
That's why I couldn't catch your butt. All right.
I told you, dumbass. Now I ran that damn high to downs force too. God dang it. And I was doing better. I was like, I got the medium set up. You got the high. You run what you want to, bro. You said it too. Damn it. Oh well.
Yeah, I was running high downforce. Maybe I
I
just
just
feel like
with that track anyways.
yeah, I don't know.
I'd be curious to see what Adam was running.
Yeah, probably
Fast.
like low downforce, super speed tune. Like who
I
knows?
think he was. I forget, but I think he was running high.
Mm. And I'm in the same car as him. There's no excuse. He's just so fast.
He's consistent, and this is a track that you definitely needed some consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Was trying all week to chase him and just get that fastest lap from him. I was so close a couple times, but he'd just get it every time.
I mean, y'all were pretty close. Only 30 hundredths apart, something. 33 hundredths.
Oh yeah, I had him for a while, but then I lost the draft and it was over. It was done.
Oh, you had him towing you around.
I
Yeah.
can't believe it got dark so damn quick.
Yeah, real
I
quick.
mean, the session started at 1 with a 2x.
Yeah, my
That's
frame
leaving at
rate
night.
plummeted as soon as it started sunsetting. That was not good for my VR. Let me tell you.
That glare was real, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
down in front stretch especially.
Oh yeah, that was part of the trying to be consistent. It was keeping up with the fucking lighting.
Yeah,
Missing
screwing
break
up
points and
those
shit.
points. Yeah, yep.
I will say it was interesting to see the. I've never noticed it before, but all the cars you can actually see have different headlights and they project differently.
Yes.
Even in the replay, I was surprised to see that. Like the Ferrari, you could pick
Like
out.
before the Audi had like
Mhm.
fantastic headlights, but that's about
Yes.
the only thing about it.
Yeah. I'm the only dude that drives a fucking Audi, bro. Like everybody else drives it and they're spinning out. I'm like, damn, it's pretty easy.
Taking Abby's upset right now, wherever he's at listening. Him and Jeremy are mad at you.
I'll be spun.
Sorry. Every lobby I get in, everybody's using everything but the Audi. Like even when I go iRacing lobby, it's like nobody's using showing it no love. I like the Audi.
When I ran it last year,
does
it
work
just
at.
last year it just sometimes mid corner would just say, "I'm spinning," and
Yeah,
not
it's like,
saving.
You know what? You want to drift right here, and then you know what? You can't bring it back.
Yeah. I mean, the Lambo just snap spins, and you know
Yeah.
when it starts, it's gone. The Audi
I get
lets
that.
you think that you can save it, but it's like, I'm at full lock, and it's just like a slow pirouette, and you're just like, come on, come on, come on.
Dave
I
Chappelle,
ran the
got
car
you,
with
bitch.
no traction control, and you can save a few of them if you actually start sliding it. But you're running with no traction control, so you just eat the tires alive. It's terrible.
As hard as I was driving, I was surprised the tires weren't worse than they were. I mean, I think I finished at least the second pit stop. They were 73s pretty much across the board,
Yeah.
but
Same
that's not
here.
bad at all.
Yeah, the tires held up pretty good. I was worried I wasn't gonna be. I thought I was doing a 3-stop race for a little while there. I was like, I'm gonna run out of gas.
I thought so too.
Well, I think when you came in for that for your pit stop, Nick, and Mason, did you take a full tank?
Yes. I thought I was gonna have enough time.
That's where I gained some time on you.
Yeah.
That's definitely where I
But-
gained some time because I came in, I still had I think like 3 gallons left in the tank. I only needed like 11.5 gallons. So
Oh,
you guys
damn.
probably took 12, 13 gallons.
How many
Yeah.
laps did you spend behind Nick where you could draft and try to save that way?
I don't think I get any draft from Nick.
Yeah, you were
That's
a couple seconds
Mhm.
back for the report I saw.
Yeah, I was second. I think the closest I got was like a second and a half.
Mhm.
I know Mason probably could have.
Yeah, Mason could have probably just kept it in, like the second or third notch on the engine. He could have made that bitch on a one stop. The way he was up my
Great.
ass.